Oh, I love oysters. Yo, what up guys? It's your boy BP Ham, and today we're making tempura fried oysters. I made these for my friends the other day and they loved them. It's so simple, but it's so good. And I just don't know, something about oysters when they are fried and then they pop in your mouth when you eat them and they're just juicy. My mouth is watering just thinking about it, so I'm really excited. And we're gonna pair it with a homemade tempura sauce. Love oysters. I can eat them raw, eat them cooked, fried, whatever. Oysters are, This should be a pretty quick and easy recipe, so let's get started. For this recipe, you're gonna need vegetable oil, flour, sugar, potato starch, baking powder, soy sauce, mirin, Hondashi powder, an egg, and oysters. These are frozen oysters. You're actually also going to need some club soda, which I did not pull out, but club soda or water. So to start the tempura fried oysters, you're gonna need frozen oysters, which I just defrosted overnight. I got 2 bags because I want to make a lot, but you can make as much as you want. If you don't have time to defrost them, you can kind of leave them out and run them under cold water, and they'll defrost. So what I'm gonna do is just rinse them off, pour those out, let all that drain off. So I just poured that other bag in here, and you're just gonna rinse them under cold water. And I just like to rinse them just a few times. Let that kind of drain out. Once you got those rinsed, you can just let them drain while you're preparing the batter. Before we get started, we're gonna make the tempura sauce that we're gonna dip our oysters in. I wanna get this over with so that once we finish frying the oysters, we can eat them immediately. Tempura sauce is probably my favorite dipping sauce ever. Every time I go to like a Japanese restaurant and get tempura, I usually keep the sauce and dip my sushi in it. Blasphemous, I know, but I just love this sauce. So it's very simple. We just have all our ingredients. We're gonna boil them up for just like a little bit to get all those ingredients mixed together, and then your sauce is done. The base of a good tempura sauce is called dashi, and that's just kind of like a fish flake like broth that is used in a lot of Japanese cuisine. You can get dashi in like a bottle that they sell at the grocery store, but we don't have that. So we have hondashi, which is a powdered mix, and you just kind of mix this with water and it kind of makes the same result. So we're gonna mix together in a pot 3/4 cup of water. Hondashi comes in a packet like this. We're gonna mix in 1 teaspoon to the water. And then to this, we're gonna add in soy sauce, 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. 1. And I have this soy sauce container. It's so much easier to kind of like pour into measuring utensils. And then 2. And then also mirin, which is like a sweet cooking wine-ish, I would say, used in a lot of Japanese cuisine. We're gonna use 2 to 3 tablespoons depending how sweet you want it. I love mirin, so I'm gonna put in like 2.5. 1, 2. And a half. And lastly, we're gonna sweeten it up with some sugar. So we're gonna put in 2 teaspoons of sugar. 1, 2. And then we're just gonna heat this up over medium heat for a couple minutes and then turn it off, let it cool, and we're done. Once you heat it up and kind of mix everything together, you can give it a taste and kind of adjust to your seasonings or what you like and just make it your own. So we had this simmering for about 2 to 3 minutes. We're gonna turn off the heat and then let it cool. Pour this into a container so that it can cool off. With tempura, you want to work very quickly because you want everything to be cold. With tempura batter, when it's cold, it helps whatever the end product is to be more light, crispy, and airy. So we have everything, including our flours, chilling in the fridge, and we're gonna take those out and work quickly. And while we're doing this, we have our oil preheating at 350 degrees. For the batter, we're gonna use 1/2 cup of all-purpose flour. Make sure you kind of shake it up in there so you don't have like a compact cup of flour, but just about 1/2 cup. I think that's the rest of my flour. And then 1/4 cup of potato starch. And potato starch makes things really crispy. Fluff that up, get about 1/4 of a cup. Of course, I would get some all over my shirt. Great. To this, we're just gonna add a pinch of baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, kosher salt here. We salt every layer of our dishes. 1 cold egg, large egg. And then we're gonna use club soda. The carbonation helps make this crispy as well, and you want this chilled. So we're gonna get 3/4 cup of this and then add some ice to it. And if you don't have club soda, you can use water. And then just add a few cubes of ice. Pour that straight in and then whisk it. Make sure all those ingredients are mixed well together. Those bubbles at the beginning will subside, so don't worry about it. I think we're good to go, so we're gonna get the oysters and then start frying up. You don't want your oil temperature too low or it's gonna absorb way too much of that oil into your final product and it's not gonna be as good. If you don't have a thermometer, what you could do is take a back of a chopstick or something like that, put it in the oil, and if it starts bubbling around there like that, you know your oil is ready to fry. We have our oysters here. What I did is blotted them with a paper towel to make sure some of that excess moisture was absorbed. And we're just gonna take our oysters and put them into the batter. We got those coated and we're gonna just drop them in very slowly away from our body so it doesn't splatter back up into our face. And just be careful because oysters have moisture in them, so they might splatter. I'm gonna turn the heat down just a little bit and then move those around so they don't stick to each other. There's gonna be excess pieces in here. I'm gonna take them out so they don't burn. These are gonna cook for about 2 to 3 minutes. And while these are frying, I just prepared a bowl with some paper towels in, and I have a spider so we can drain off the excess oil when these come out. These small ones look ready, so I'm gonna take them out. And when you take them out, make sure you shake off that excess oil. Once you're done, move on to the next batch. I'm just gonna finish frying the rest of these and then we'll taste them. And honestly guys, you're gonna eat these hot. So before I finish frying the rest of them, I just wanna taste test them for you because they're just gonna be so much better if you serve them hot. Oyster. So we got that tempura sauce we made before. I'm just gonna dip it in. Oh, I love oysters. I love oysters. You know, a lot of times you go to those Cajun restaurants and the oysters are just like over battered and it's just like so much batter to the oyster. These ones are so light and crispy, like that tempura batter just like kind of shatters in your mouth with that addition of club soda and just making sure all the ingredients are cold. The oyster, you can still taste the oyster and it kind of explodes in your mouth because it's so juicy and delicious. I'm so happy right now I get to eat the rest of these. And you can use this tempura batter for any kind of vegetable or even shrimp, squash, broccoli they do. Sweet potatoes are so good, especially the Asian sweet potatoes. But if you guys try out this recipe, please let me know in the comments below. And if you like this video, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. Give this video a thumbs up and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.